Among the many speeches that got a lot of press attention during the Oscars, Patricia Arquette talking about the pay gap was definitely one of them, and a lot of different people had a lot of different reactions to it, but there was outrage after she gave her very public speech during the Oscars. So what she said during the award show wasn't that controversial. People tended to love what she had to say. In fact, here's what her speech included. To every woman who gave birth to every taxpayer and citizen of this nation, we have fought for everybody else's equal rights. It's our time to have wage equality once and for all, and equal rights for women in the United States of America. So when she said that, Meryl Streep and Jennifer Lopez got up off their seats, they started clapping, they loved it, right? What got her in trouble? Apparently later on, when she was talking to the press, she tried to elaborate on it, and maybe she didn't do so in the most eloquent way because a lot of people misconstrued what she had to say. Here's what she said. So the truth is, even though we sort of feel like we have equal rights in America, right under the surface, there are huge issues that are applied that really do affect women. And it's time for all the women in America and all the men that love women and all the gay people and all the people of color that we've all fought for to fight for us now. So that's the part of her commentary, which of course she said after the Oscars, that got her into a lot of trouble. Now, what is the criticism? Why are people so upset about it? Let me give you a few examples of what people have said. One person writes, when Patricia Arquette was talking about higher wages for women, she sure as hell wasn't talking about my black ass. So they felt that her post-speech was basically excluding people of color and also the LGBT community.
I don't even think she misspoke. I don't get it. I think what she said is perfectly fine. And so, okay, let's break it down. First of all, you said everybody liked the first part of the speech. Of course, that's not true. The right wing didn't like it at all. Oh, yeah, the equal rights. Yeah. Men's rights groups hated it.
Of course they hated it.
Of course, right.
But they're
not in the rational sphere. Okay, all right. So, and then, so she gets crap from all those guys. Then turn around and have liberals attack her because she mentioned race, but somehow. What is it? They're talking about an intersectional issue.
Yes.
Okay.
So
what is that?
Let me give you some more criticism that she got. All the gay people and all people of color, like gay women and black women, are not women too. Girl, please go away. All right. So I'm going to stop right
here. She didn't say that. She didn't say that.
No, that's why. Look, this is why this whole issue frustrates me, because her words were misconstrued, and I can relate to her, right? Because we do the show where we share our opinions and our commentary off the cuff, no teleprompter. And sometimes when you are trying to make a point, it might not come out as eloquently or as perfectly as you'd want it to, and you don't include every single caveat that makes your point as clear as possible. And so that it basically creates an opportunity for people to take what you say and twist it and make it seem like you're saying something that you're not. What did she say during her Oscar speech? She said, look, we all came together to fight for equal rights for all these different groups of people. Now it's time to focus on the wage gap, right? And I don't think that she meant, I'm fighting for equal rights for women and everyone else can just fuck off. That's not what she meant. She meant, hey, us as progressives need to come together and fight for various different issues in this country, just like we have with racism and bigotry.
No, I'm annoyed, honestly. So the one good part of this story is that it turns out there's real liberals in the country.
Yeah.
Right? You know, I always talk about it. If the country ever got back into balance, I'd be considered a moderate, right? So, okay, this is a decent example of that. Like, I know liberals like this on college campuses and stuff like that, and everything is, oh, that's the wrong pronoun and whatever, right? And to imply that she's against gay women or black women or Latino women, well, that goes above and beyond.
Yep.
It's one thing to say, hey, you know what? She shouldn't have said in lieu of those fights, which she didn't say. She didn't say in lieu of those fights. That's wrong enough in and of itself. But a lot of people there are implying that she was saying, well, gay women and black women shouldn't be part of this fight. Now, okay, now you're making stuff up because she didn't say that at all. She didn't imply that at all. It's not within a 10-mile perimeter of what she said, right? Okay, now if you want to pick a fight with the actual thing that she said, about like, hey, we fought these battles. We fought battles for gay rights. We fought battles for civil rights. Now let's fight this battle together.
Yeah.
Man, okay, now at least you're getting to what she actually said, but you're also stretching to find something more. She didn't say civil rights battle is over. She didn't say gay rights battle is over. She didn't say take a load off of those. She's saying, hey, look, a lot of good progressive women fought in those battles. And she's right about that. she's like, and she's saying, can we all help a sister out now? I mean, we're 50% of the population. Can we all work together on this issue? Here, I'll double down. I totally agree with her.
Yeah.
I think we should. I think for all the people, and so I'll give you an example of this, which she did not say, I am saying, okay? So sometimes people who will fight for civil rights, but then they'll turn around and say, well, I'm a Christian, so I'm against gay rights. Well, isn't that convenient, right? So all of a sudden, rights stop right in your backyard, right? And so, now she didn't imply any of that, and in this case, I don't see any examples of that. But I'm saying, for all the people who benefited from all those fights, well, let's help in this case so that women can get to a better place as well. And it's not to say that women have no rights. It's not to say that women are crushed and we've made no progress, etc. It's to say that there's still some work to be done.
Yeah,
so can we all work on it together?
Yeah.
I agree with that sentiment 100%.
And also, it's interesting because when this story made headlines, I thought that the kerfuffle was about the fact that she asked for equal rights for women. Because if you want to get criticism online, anywhere, just ask for equal rights for women. People will lose it, okay? They will lose their collective shit, okay? And so I was a little dismayed that that wasn't really the issue. The issue was people misconstruing what she had to say. But if you want to talk about equal pay, I do want to talk about that a little bit because there is some good news when it comes to the pay gap. It is closing for millennials specifically. And MarketWatch did this really great article talking about how the pay gap still exists for the generation before millennials. But when it comes to millennials, it has closed, but there's still a little bit of a gap. So let me give you the results of a study. And I should note that this study did not look at women in different jobs. So they're not comparing women who decided to be teachers to men who are CEOs, okay? So that's usually the criticism of the government's analysis of this. Here's what they found. This is a study by Millennial Branding, and it's a branding and consulting firm, and also PayScale, which is another company. So in 2012, among workers ages 25 to 34, women's hourly earnings were 93% those of men. But among all working men and women ages 16 and older, women's hourly wages were 84% those of men. So that's already a little close in this pay gap. So we're making progress, right? But what she's saying, what Arquette is saying here is absolutely right. We got to keep fighting because if we don't, then that pay gap will continue to exist or it will widen. So
I mean, look, in the Sony emails, we found out that in some major movies, for even the largest stars, women don't get paid as much as men. And when asked about it, Sony executives said, well, they should ask for more, right?
That's true.
Well, okay, well, then this is partly her saying, let's ask for more, right? And that makes sense, and that's logical. And by the way, that's also the free market. And I suppose the right wing should celebrate that.
I guess so.
And finally, I like the idea of people losing their collective shit.
I don't know where that phrase came from. I feel like I've heard it somewhere.
But I like that idea. I mean, like I like the idea of like, hey, can I borrow your shit? And Irina and Tim, can you all give me your shit? We collect it together. This is our collective shit. Oh shit, I lost it. I lost our collective shit. Where did it go?